everyone, welcome to Create with Christina, and this is the third and final episode in our Craft Room Makeover series. Okay, so I realize it looks like an explosion happened, and it really doesn't look like we made a dent. Maybe even looks worse than it did before, but I promise you this is progress. So basically at this point, I just wanted to do a real quick recap before we get into that. We'll kind of walk through what we started with and kind of where we're at. So in the first episode, we went through and we started assessing what we had and grouping similar items. So at this point, you should have pretty much everything almost pre-organized. Any of your markers, scissors, that type of thing should all be pretty much together and grouped at this point. So I knew I needed more storage solutions and ways to store some of my items, so I had crafted up this shelf first. This was just made again out of Dollar Tree items, a little palette and a couple of the wood trays. Used some hot glue, some ribbons, and that was that. It is working very nicely to hold my paint. And then we've got this other one that I did in the second episode of the series, another little functional shelf here to put items in. Right now I just have like a loose zip tie in there and some paint cups, things like that. So I figured that would be a really good addition to store some items. So then I went through and just looked over what doesn't belong in the space. Is there anything that I can throw away? And I really got rid of quite a few things. I was able to consolidate some items, and then I had a lot of hair accessories, lotion, perfume, things like that on that shelf previously, but I have moved and kind of reorganized all that to a different shelving unit so that way it doesn't take up space in my craft room. Remember, you really just want to dedicate this solely to whatever space you're using it for, even if it's just a corner of that particular room, just keeping it in line with what you want to do there. So I wasn't really sure if I was going to end up needing any more storage items along the way, so I did save some containers here. This was a coffee container. I rinsed it out, and I'm thinking now, since I just bought more paintbrushes, I am going to need a bigger area to put them in, so I think that this actually would probably work pretty well to store the paintbrushes. I had a couple of these wood Dollar Tree crates on hand, so I figured just in case I needed more storage room, I would jazz one of these up. So I took some Mod Podge and one of my printables and put that on there. So let's take a quick look at how I did that, just so you can see it for reference, and then we'll kind of get to the final reveal.
Okay, so here's how to use a printable to get a cute design on one of these little crates. These are my cute spring printables with bee designs, now available. Get them on my shop on my blog. I'm going to use a Dollar Tree crate, some Mod Podge, white chalk paint, some yellow acrylic, paintbrush, scissors, some various ribbons, and my favorite little sticker bead gems. We're going to use these to embellish the crate. Kind of give it that little raised texture look, almost like it's a nail in the crate. Gives it more of that rustic look. I'm going to use that top left design there. I'm just mixing some yellow in the white chalk paint because I kind of wanted it to have like an off-white effect. I didn't want it to be a super bright white because the background of my printable was kind of like this yellow-green, really light hue. And so I didn't want the background to really stick out from the crate. The idea is when you Mod Podge a printable onto something, you kind of want it to look like it belongs there. You don't want it to look out of place. So I'm just painting this crate with that white and yellow mixture. Get in there good. Alright, so here you can kind of see how those beads look. I just put them on there and then I painted over the beads. Then I'm going to cut out the printable. And because this crate didn't really fit the whole design, I'm just cutting the bee out. I'm just going to put the little bee right here on the front, use some Mod Podge. Stick that down, kind of rub it down there. And I'm also going to use the B leave lettering. So the B-E-E and then L-I-E-V-E, B leave. So I cut that out, Mod Podge those on. Looking cuter already. Then I just go back over it with some more Mod Podge over top to really kind of seal it down, make sure it sticks. And this will dry pretty clear. This is the matte Mod Podge. I do have the glossy, but I figured the matte would match the farmhouse look a little more. And I'm just going to take a little ribbon and kind of give it a little more flare on the sides. That yellow is really making that black buffalo check plaid pop. You could always do this as a full design, like if you wanted to use the back side of the crate and kind of set it up that way. But yeah, super, super cute. I love that design and I love these little crates.
Okay, so I think it turned out super, super cute. So it's functional as well. If I do end up needing it, then great, I can store little items. If I don't, it works well for decor purposes. I had kind of staged it like this, sitting on one of my desks back there. So super cute, super functional. So believe it or not, even though this seems like a major mess, this is exactly where we want it. It's all grouped together, so really at this point all we have to do is get to the last stage, which is organizing everything and then just setting everything else up how we want it. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and go through and start getting this all set up, putting things on the shelf, the desk, just getting a designated area for everything.
Alright, so I thought the coffee can I saved would be a great place to store my paintbrushes, but the small ones were falling over in there. It was actually too much room. Sometimes you have to play around with things, so I put it in a different mason jar, and that worked out pretty well. So I'm just going through, kind of folding loose tissue paper, gathering, just kind of reorganizing a couple of things. I had a planner bucket full of various ribbons that were left over from different projects. I wasn't really sure how I was going to store those at first, but then I realized that a coffee container would actually be perfect. I took a Kleenex box and used the cardboard to kind of act as a divider. So that was kind of a neat idea. And I'm just kind of setting some stuff back up on the shelf, get our paint reorganized here in my shelf. Just kind of going through, seeing what fits where, and I needed a place for my ribbon. I saw this cool idea online to take these little storage baskets and use a wood dowel and put that through the middle of the ribbon, and then you can kind of stick them in that little basket and it will hold all your ribbon, and you can easily kind of pull the amount that you need, cut it, and kind of gather it back up easily. I got this really cute towel at Meijer today. I had to show you that. Start piling some things back on the shelf. I have this little box here that's going to hold storage container. It's going to hold some seasonal items. That way I can put that up when I don't need it. All right, so I have finished organizing and setting everything up. Now I did want to get some shelves on the walls, but things don't always work out as planned. I was anxious to just get this finished. My boyfriend and I's schedule just has not been linking up to get some shelves going, so we're gonna make do with what we have, and I'm gonna show you around a little bit. Okay, so it definitely feels more like my own space here. So I'll kind of show you first. I mean, I'm probably going to use these in projects, but I figure it's cute to put in the vase for now, kind of serving a double duty as decoration. Other floral here that I just put in a planter bucket. That way I can easily grab it and use it whenever I need it for projects. We have our paint holder here. It's actually backwards, but doing its job well. And then this little storage drawer container that I had made. Holding my craft clips here. Then it's nice because then I can also set other things on it. Just a couple other little miscellaneous things. We kind of jazzed up what we had. And then let's see, I got like a bin for all my wood stuff. I did end up putting my yarn in here and some other various ribbons. My cool little handy ribbon holder here. Thought it was pretty cool because then you can usually easily grab this and then just kind of roll her back up. And this is one of those slot dividers from Dollar Tree. I really like those. Just kind of holding some bigger canvas, some stickers, things I didn't really have room for. We come over here, we kind of see my desk space. Paintbrushes, easily accessible. My glue gun holder. Did like a little mini craft on that. And then this was where I had the shelf paper, just kind of there, and then a little box here for all my current projects I have going on, so Mother's Day, patriotic crafts, anything that I'm going to be using current.
Okay, so when I say makeover, I definitely don't mean anything super mind-blowing. This was obviously just a few little crafts, some trips to the Dollar Tree, organizing, and that is really it. I mean, I didn't paint the walls. If I got the shelves up, that might have been more of a transformation, but really the idea, again, was to just get organized, make this space dedicated solely to crafting and all of my craft supplies, make it accessible, make it functional, and I definitely think we were able to accomplish that. So again, you know, you start out, you look at what you have, you start grouping similar items, you go through, you purge what doesn't belong, and then you kind of figure out, you know, do you need storage solutions? Do you want to craft that up? Do you want to go to a store? And then you start, you know, just kind of putting that all together. I had saved up a lot of jars and things throughout the week, and you know, right now I didn't end up needing some of those storage containers, but that doesn't mean that your needs won't change. This is an ever-evolving process. Just because it works for me now doesn't mean that it's going to work for me later down the road, but at least you have the framework for everything having a place, and it's much easier to stay organized at that point. So I'm hoping that next time you see me, this place is not a disaster zone. Sometimes when I am crafting, I tend to kind of just get everything out, throw it all over, thinking, oh, I'll put it away later. So I'm hoping this kind of starts me off on a good foot where I just can, you know, easily put things away as soon as I'm done with them. So yeah, I really hope that you learned some tips and tricks on how to get organized, how to get started, what you can use. You can jazz up what you have, you can go to the store. There's so many options. Obviously, you can tailor this to your own needs, to your own space, but the general idea is the same, and I hope that you continue to use these tips. You can use it in any other room, any other space. It's really something that you can do to get organized really in any room of your home. So thanks again so much for watching. If you've been with me this whole time or you kind of caught a glimpse of the first couple episodes, thank you so much. Definitely drop me a line. Let me know what you think. And there will be more like this to come. We have a lot of outdoor projects and things that I'm going to do now that, of course, the weather is getting warmer. We're going to organize the garage, maybe jazz up the outside with some plants and things. So more to come on that, some patriotic crafts. I got my Mother's Day printable designs are available now, so get those. So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff. Thank you so much for sticking with me. And as always, have a great day. Bye-bye.